man. It's Even Job Podcast with your one and only host, Glory boy. You know what I'm saying? Yo, appreciate all the love and support y'all been showing, man, from on the last videos. Um, Man, appreciate that and more round of applause for y'all, cause y'all deserve them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, other than that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. And today, as you can hear my voice, it's 6 a.m. right now. Just grinding. Um, so we're gonna be reacting to grilling. The guy from Fresh and Fit. His name is Myron. Myron, I believe so. He's gonna be on grilling. So let's see if he's gonna be able to grill her. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
I think you should just be able to have a friendship with women, though.
So, going back to what I was saying before, it's pointless to have a female friend because if you have a female friend, it's kind of unspoken, but you're going to be designated to protect her if something pops off. So if I'm going to be designated to protect a woman, I prefer it to be my girl. Now, going back to what you're saying about women offering utility well, they can give you another insight. I've interviewed almost 1,600 women now at this point, and I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, women are absolutely terrible at understanding what it takes to be attractive to women as a man. So their advice typically is not good at all.
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to disagree. Can you give me an example, please?
Oh, so when we bring girls on, we actually have a segment. We say, so you think it's easy to get women? And they'll always say, of course, yeah. If I can get so many bitches. And I'm like, okay, really? Okay, fantastic. Then we go ahead and pull out some mics and say, hey, either me or Fresh, we act like a girl. We say, okay, what's the scenario? Are you meeting us at a bar, a coffee shop? What is it? And she picks a scenario. She even picks how she looks, how much money she earns, etc. And we pretend to be the girl. She's the guy. We stand in the corner and we want her to approach us and act like a dude. And I think almost every single time, maybe one time a girl actually didn't fell flat on her face. They don't know what it takes to be attractive. They don't know what it takes to have a good tonality. They don't know what it takes to have good body language, how to appropriately set up a date, how to not come off weird, how to get a phone number, how to not trick or simp. A lot of girls just lead, hey, I'll take you on a date to Komodo, and they don't even know the girl's name. So we basically give similar objections that girls give all the time, like, oh, I have a boyfriend, or oh, here's my Instagram, but don't give the phone number. And it's hilarious to watch women fumble with their own typical objections that they give to guys. And they don't know how to overcome it because they've never been a guy and dealing with a woman. Because when girls deal with girls, right, like lesbians or whatever, they kind of know what to do, and you get away with certain things. As a guy, you can't mess up because girls will disqualify for anything.
You could get.
Yeah, okay. Well, the thing is, I do agree with you. I do kind of understand. I can never completely understand. I'm a woman, but I understand from a male's perspective. I'm not disagreeing that it's not hard for you, but at the same time, I kind of feel like men carry a lot of hurt, and they push it on women.
Okay. What we basically highlight on our podcast is you need to be the best version of yourself. And I think the thing is that guys are yearning for this because we've been lying to men for the better part of 5 to 6 decades about what being masculine and strong actually is. We've been demonizing it when in reality, guys need to become stronger. Because no woman wants a weak man, even though girls say dumb shit like, oh, well, I want you to be emotionally intelligent and get in tune with your feelings or whatever. It's all a lie. Oh, see.
No, but I personally would like a man that's emotionally available and emotionally intelligent, but it's not me saying I want you crying all the time. So, do you know what I mean? It's true though.
We tell guys not to be vulnerable in front of your girl. You go ahead, you're going to be vulnerable, you're going to shed a tear, whatever. You do that around other men that understand, the male experience. Women don't understand the male experience at all. And it goes to show, when I said earlier, when you put the girl in a male perspective, I want you to pick up this girl. They always fall flat on their face because women are in a privileged position where they don't have to necessarily understand what it takes to attract the man because men come to them.
So what's the code? So what's how many codes is there?
Well, it depends on the girl. If you deal with a girl that's younger, that's in her prime years, well, you got to understand it.
I like how so far, he been answering her questions and he not stuttering at all, bro. He been straight to the point. And that's real G shit. When you out here just, you get a question asked, get straight to the point and be as honest as you can be, you gain a lot of respect.
She's more, inclined to look for fun. If you're dealing with a girl that is in her mid-20s, a lot of times she might be pursuing, it depends on the girl, but she might be pursuing some type of stability or some security, and you got to play to that angle. Or if you deal with a girl that's a little bit older, late 20s, 30s, and up, 9 out of 10 times she's going to want some type of security if she hasn't gotten there already.
So what kind of woman do you want? Sorry.
Me? I mean, I could deal with whatever. My thing is, I need her to come into my life and be an asset and not a liability.
Right.
Most girls are liabilities, to be honest.
So how do you know you're the top guy?
I need her to be an asset and not a liability. Those that don't know, liability basically something that you're just spending money on. An asset, something that's actually you're not just spending money on it, but it's also bringing you value back. So basically, that's how it should be. If you have a partner that should both, be playing a part, grinding, getting something, just making something happen in your lives, because y'all all want a good life. So, and I understand, yes, sometimes you have to take care of your woman, spoil her from time to time, but also you have to understand, like, damn, we got a future to build, so let's focus on certain things that's so important. Like, if you're trying to get a house in the future, work together. That's an asset. Just work together, save up together, and more. So going forward, that's true.
She doesn't flake. She gives you the best treatment. She actually has, enthusiastic sex with you versus like it being like a mission. Sometimes she initiates the sex. There's a bunch of different ways to tell if you're the top guy. She doesn't flake. She responds to you immediately. So, I mean, if you take an average attractive girl, she's talking to 5 to 10 guys at any time. So you'll know right away when you're the number one guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got to be the number one guy. The girl always has to like the guy more than she likes him.
So what's your type?
My type? Not fat, not rude, not obnoxious, polite, fit, feminine, friendly, submissive. Simple stuff, man.
That's a lot,
Pleasant.
though. I feel like to say not fat's rude, though.
I'll make it simple. Fit, feminine, friendly, and coachable. And coachable to be trained. You got to train women, man. I know that sounds terrible, but a lot of women have bad habits.
But so do men. But
I agree. A lot of men do have bad habits. I agree. But here's the difference.
Go on.
Women don't like it when they get criticized. If I go on a podcast and I say, you know what, guys, you need to stop being bums. You need to get your money on point. You need to stop being fat POSs, etc. They actually admire and respect that. People are in the chat, flame emojis, whatever. I go on rants on the guys all the time. I'm swaying, going crazy. It's like I'm delivering a preach. You know what I'm saying? I'm preaching over here. And they respond favorably to it. But the reason why is because men are okay with criticism, right? And no one clips it and puts it on TikTok when I yell at the guys and tell them that they're bums. However, they will clip it when I tell women that they're useless. So what's the issue here? It's not that, the issue here is that one gender can't take criticism while the other one can, because here's the reality. Men, if they're losers, their reality is reflecting upon that. If I'm a loser, I live with my mom, eat Cheetos, fat, dork, well, I'm not getting laid. My peers don't respect me, okay? My environment represents like what I've achieved or not achieved in life. Women, however, you can be a bimbo, stupid, whatever, but you're mildly attractive, you're still gonna get a bunch of offers and attention, etc. So women rarely get held accountable for their poor decisions. Men do, though. Men have to live in reality.
For me, like, I understand, like, the value a man brings. So I'm never going to sit and argue the fact that men are trash or anything like that, because I don't think men are. But I kind of feel like my issue is it's like this...
But they do need to step up. They need to do better.
Who?
Men, in general.
No, but this is what I'm saying, like, men genuinely do, because for me, like, my circle of, like, the women around me are really good women. And what I've seen from my experience with all these women, like, that have probably made the wrong choice with, like, the wrong father of their child, but it's kind of like we have this hyper independent wave of women that don't know how to submit. Because for me, in an ideal situation, I'd love to be a submissive woman that stayed at home, had my business, done what I wanted to do for me. I did have a man, but realistically, I don't want to give you the power to condescend me, to be like, you wouldn't have that if it wasn't for me. Because this is what men do. You then, like, your ego runs away with you, and you don't know how to actually respect women. Because with everything, it's like you said, you don't see women as equal.
They're not.
No, but this is what I'm saying. You're saying that we're not, but at the same time, there's no respect for me as a woman and what I'm bringing to you.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. You're looking at equality from a human perspective. I'm not saying that men are better than women from a human perspective. I'm saying that men are leaders, so therefore we cannot be equal. When you're on the battlefield, right, and the lieutenant or whoever the commanding officer is on the battlefield, you're not equal to him as, you know, a regular soldier. He is the leader. You're not equal, but there's a reason. There's a hierarchy to dictate order. If the woman is equal to the guy, well, who's going to make the final decision? Nothing gets done by a committee. There always has to be one leader in charge. There's a reason why there's a president, there's a CEO, etc. Both people can't be alphas, as they say. The problem is this. Women are confused about what men actually want. They think a CEO, a boss, a business owner, ambitious, competitive woman. We don't give a shit about none of that stuff. Men don't care about that. And I would argue the more money a man makes, the less he cares about his woman's ability to earn money. And critical thinking means being able to look at reality, see what's going on, apply some critical thinking, and fix problems from a deductive problem-solving standpoint. A lot of girls lack this. They follow people like Nicki Minaj, you know, Mia Khalifa, Lana Rhoades, whatever, Kim Kardashian. These are all terrible representations of what women should be. What a girl is supposed to do is come into a man's life, see where he's deficient. Okay, I noticed that you like to go to the gym at this time. I'm going to make sure that you have a protein shake with as many grams of protein as you need, the vegetables, etc. When you come back, not even asked. The place is spotless. I noticed that you have an issue with organizing your files, or you like to have your things in a certain order when you come home. I'm going to make sure that's done, and I'm a deductive problem solver. I'm able to be observant, because that's women's gift, is being observant of social situations. That's why women are socially superior to men.
Are the same.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that's sexist. Okay.
No,
it's never sexist when a guy mentions something about a woman that's positive. So a woman's job is to use that social calibration that they have, that they're superior to men, and be able to be like, okay, this guy's deficient in this.
Yo, comment below. Is he grilling her or she's grilling him? Come on. Comment below right now.
This, etc. Let me come in, compliment, make this guy operate. He's already operating at 95%. I'm going to get him to 102. And when you're at a high level already, that extra 2, 3, 4, 5% is what helps you beat the competition.
Women do compliment men in that way when it's the right partner, but the problem is, like,
Yeah.
I have this issue. Like, for me, everything you listed, I will do that if it's my man. But the problem is, I'm not going to do it for every man. I'm not going to just do it because that's what you expect. It will be the right time, because you could be dating multiple people. So why am I going to give you this really good treatment if you're not even valuing me? So it takes a while to get to that level. So women will do that. A lot of women will give you that life. They will give you that balance. They will compliment you, but they're not going to just do it until you're serious. You know, because men like to play the field for a very long time.
So let's take your logic. Let's say you want to work at a prestigious law firm. You walk in there in your pajamas, and you know you're unkempt, and you say, you know what? Listen, I know this is a fantastic law firm, but I'm gonna wait it out a little bit. I don't know if we're a good match yet, okay? But y'all should give me the job anyway. Okay, you just sit there. You know what they're gonna say? Get the F out of here. We got a bunch of other applicants that are qualified that are gonna show up and take this job seriously. Men give relationships, women give sex. If you want a relationship with a guy who's worth something, you're gonna have to compete. And girls hate that word. I'm my own competition. I don't compete with nobody. That's stupid. That's an asinine concept. We all compete. When a girl gets dressed before she walks outside, putting on makeup, wearing the latest designer, all women compete. They just refuse to accept this. So if you're gonna go and try to work at a prestigious law firm, you better come with your resume, dressed well, have experience, etc., and be ready to start the job and be on point. But modern day women think, I'm gonna show up just the way I come and they should hire me. That's not the way the world works, which is why so many women fail and strike out when it comes to men. They go ahead, they show up to the job interview, they think they're gonna get the job. No, you get sex only, recreational use only, bam, never get the actual job. You're a temp hire.
Yeah, so why though? Like this, why can't you just like value women, not just like have sex with them and disregard them?
It's on the woman to prove to me that she's worthy of a relationship. That's where a lot of girls make a mistake. They'll sit there and say, I'm good, I'm loyal, blah, 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 blah. No, I want to, you know, see how you do before you get promoted. I'm not going to give a girl the position of, you know, secretary or underboss, right, or second in charge of my company unless she's been vetted. She's got to work her way up. The problem is that we give women CEO jobs when they haven't proven themselves and they don't respect the job.
So
we're in England, right? SAS. very competitive, right? Intelligence agency for the UK, right? CIA, FBI, same thing. There's a bunch of background investigations done, right? Your resume has to be a certain point. You can't have done certain things in your life. You're automatically disqualified. It's highly sought after because it's difficult to obtain. Things that are difficult to obtain typically have some type of value. So what women got to understand is that when you want a certain type of guy, there's certain things that may disqualify you from that position. Life isn't fair, and that's just how it goes. So girls got to be willing to compete, and they think, I should just be accepted. That's not how it goes. Because women reject men for way less. A guy will get rejected for not having the right shoes on. You know, I think men are way more forgiving when it comes to dating and giving women relationships than women are to even giving a guy a phone number.
You might be the exception because you might be in the top % of men because you have all these things, you know, like your looks, your fitness, money, but everyday men don't have that, you know.
But I never said, I was very careful to say that's what all men want. The problem is that most guys can't do it. So therefore they're restricted to monogamy by force. In most relationships, the woman has the leverage and she dictates the terms of the relationship. So most guys can't like kind of have this mindset that I have. It's like my way or the highway. You know, most guys have to kind of concede to what their girl wants. This stupid quote, happy wife, happy life. I think that's the dumbest quote ever. As a man gains more status, success, income, etc., the woman wins. She's all his success, she benefits from that. But when a woman wins, it's not the same. When a woman makes more money, earns more status, etc., and she starts to outgrow her man, she's going to look for a better man. Men and women are not the same.
So, but some women, we are emotional beings. Like, we will stay with
Which
the
is a
man.
problem. They're erratic.
But we will stay with the man. Like, if a man loves us and is loyal, we will stay.
Really? Is that why women initiate an overwhelming amount of the breakups? Because they're emotional and they're loyal? No. Women are the most disloyal creatures that we have.
Yeah, but I feel like you're...
Which is okay.
Yeah, but with my circle of women that I'm, like, that I know and I represent, I think it's unfair because even, like, on your podcast, and it's no disrespect to any women on your show because, like, you know, they hold it down for themselves, but you have a kind of, like, caliber of women that are, like, accepting to that lifestyle, like, you know, hookup culture, OnlyFans culture and stuff like that. So I kind of feel like your reality and perception of women is where women will like that lifestyle.
Well, you're actually incorrect. And the reason why is because we've interviewed almost 1,600 girls from different walks of life, different countries, different areas. And most of the girls actually aren't from Miami. And a lot of them are educated. Bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, professional, some porn stars, etc. Different from women from all different types of walks of life. And what I've come to realize is there are some very distinct similarities between the women, regardless of socioeconomic status, etc. I would argue the more money a woman makes, the more selective she is in wanting a guy that makes more money than herself. So if anything, when a girl's educated and has a business and makes money, she is even more 10 toes down on her stances. She's less willing to concede and less willing to tolerate a man that isn't adequate. So you might say, oh, women are emotional, but they're more likely to stay. All the stats don't show that. Women overwhelmingly initiate breakups.
So what kind of women do you date then?
Dion, handed.
All right. Yo, comment below your thought on this. Like, who grilled the next? I mean, who grilled the other person? You know, because this was a good conversation. I actually like how like the questions that girl in the video always asking. You know, like she always asking like those questions to try and just figure out like how society works, men and women, which is actually nice. You know, people should be having these type of conversations and so on. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, go ahead and hit that. Appreciate the love and support. I mean, comment below and also like this video. Please get me to at least 500 likes or more. Appreciate the love and support. And you know what? This is Easy Venture Podcast with your one and only host, you know, Glory. Boy, and we out of this video. Let's go.